Hey everybody, all you awesome people. Tonight we're going to be going over how to stay on track with all of your goals and just being healthy in general, taking care of your nutrition and lifestyle after surgery. Some of you on here may not have had surgery yet, or maybe you're just a general weight loss patient, but the majority of you are going to be on here. You've had surgery or weight loss surgery. So I really want to make sure that you guys are comfortable or confident, I should say, with sticking to your goals over the holidays, because we know that it takes very little to get thrown off track and to veer away from your goals. So we're just going to hit on a couple of high points tonight, and nothing in this presentation is going to be anything groundbreaking by any means. It's going to be basically just focusing on what's the bare minimum you can do to help to keep yourself focused over the holidays. So I'm going to end up sharing my screen in just a second. I just have a short presentation. This isn't going to be too long tonight because it really is not a whole lot of new content by any means, just something to keep you guys to feel supported and keep you on track. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. I want this, I think. What's this? This one? Share. I want presenter view, present, standard, present. Okay, so you guys should have a full screen here. I'm hoping you do. I do something different every time when I host one of these Zoom meetings. So how do I go back? So I never do this enough to be consistent. Okay, so today's November 8th, I think. Yes, November 8th, we're gonna focus on staying on track during the holidays and how to keep your nutrition a priority over the holidays. So number one, if you've ever met with me, you know one of the major focuses on with staying on track with anything is going to be planned. And of course, it's very hard and challenging to plan during the holidays because we have friends and family come over. We have impromptu get-togethers. We have planned get-togethers. But going back to planning, nothing is really successful without planning. So we have to have some kind of at least a tentative plan in place to stay true to your goals over the holidays. So the one thing that you can do is continue your meal prepping and planning or prepping as you normally would. So take a look at the week ahead. So you're gonna, begin your week. You're gonna know for the most part what's going to be coming up each week, hopefully. So keep that in mind whenever it comes to purchasing food that you normally would, or cooking or planning meals. You know what's coming up, so don't overbuy food, don't underbuy food. You want to continue making meal plans as much as possible. If hopefully these are things that you're already doing. If you're not, then I highly encourage you to start doing it right now so that you're setting yourself up for success prior to these next few weeks and beyond through the rest of the year. So meal planning is something that really sets you up for success. You need to know what are your options going to be throughout the entire day for your food choices and throughout the week. So even if you can't do a full week in advance, then at least do 2, 3, 4 days ahead of time. Just always have something available for you to eat. Batch cooking and meal delivery services, this can be really helpful during this time of year. So making larger batches of chicken salad or making huge batches of egg muffins that you can freeze and have available at the same time. Making crock pot meals. So these are all things that you can make in larger amounts, freeze half of it, put them in portion control containers, whatever you need to do in order to have it ready for you, just to heat up and eat or just to take on the go. You can also do meal delivery services, HelloFresh or Sunbasket. There's plant-based ones now. I mean, there's too many to keep up with these days. So if you already use one, then wonderful. You can kind of maybe put in the group. I would actually love that if you guys could put in the group on Facebook, on our Facebook support group page. If you use a meal service, like one of those that I just mentioned, put it on Facebook as a recommendation so you can share with other people. But anyway, using a meal delivery service that can really save time from going to the grocery store multiple times during the week. You already have the ingredients ready, you've got the instructions, and all you have to do is cook it. If cooking is going to be a challenge for you, if you don't have time, can you ask other people to help you out in the household? So if you're one that's responsible for a lot of the, pitching in and bringing food to others, or taking food to other people's homes, or whatever, don't be afraid to ask people to help you out in the house. Keeping a meal and hydration schedule. I know it sounds kind of infantile at times, but if you, number one, don't have an appetite, or if you get too busy and you forget to eat, things like that, that's just going to start spiraling into an issue to where you're not meeting your basic needs by the end of the day. And that can be detrimental long-term, health-wise, but also it can really just start creating bad habits for yourself. So, if you currently are at work and you have a really good routine, try to mimic that same routine on your time off as much as you can. Set alarms, set timers, do whatever you need to do to remind yourself to actually have those planned meals that you have set in place. As far as hydration goes, keep those big containers. So, I've got my Yeti here, and I know if I fill this up 4 times and drink it by the end of the day, I'm good. I've met my goal for hydration. So if that's something that would help you, then do what's going to help you. I know on Amazon, they have those gallon size bottles or containers now that have the markers that you have to drink drink so much ever so often. And by the end of the day, you've met your goal. So whatever tools can help you really optimize on those tools. And then lastly, you want to plan your exercise. So exercise is probably the most difficult thing that most of my patients struggle with as far as being in routine. It's very easy to put exercise on the back burner. We'll say, oh, I don't have time for that today, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow turns into tomorrow again. And then tomorrow turns into tomorrow again. And then you end up by the end of the week not meeting any of your goals for exercise. So that's really a priority, honestly, because if we continue to eat the same that we do on a regular basis, but we don't change exercise, then we're essentially or likely having more calories than what we need. So if you're used to exercising 3 or 4 days a week and the holidays come and you just stop and you continue to eat the same, you're probably not going to lose weight. Unless you're in that first 6-month period or even year period and you're still kind of losing weight after surgery, but still, really make it a priority to plan your exercise. This doesn't have to be intentional exercise. So if you've met with me in my office, I always talk about, I'm a trainer that hates the gym. I don't like planned exercise like that. And just, if that helps you, I want you to do that. But I don't want you to put exercise on this pedestal where you think you need to go to the gym just to exercise. Do really small things throughout the house, throughout the day. I mean, just increasing your activity in general. Just, anytime you have a minute to sit around, can you do something else rather than just sitting and watching TV? When we get into social settings, it tends to be one of those just chill out and do nothing kind of thing. So keep that in mind. You know what's coming up. So this all goes back to planning ahead. You know what's coming up. Back the truck up, back it up in your schedule and say, okay, now I know what's coming up. Where can I fit in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, whatever. Just plan it ahead of time. If you can maybe make a date with your friend or have someone in your household or a friend help you to stay accountable, odds are, if you know other people who've had surgery or, just people in general, they want other people to share their responsibilities with. It's no fun to think, oh, I'm the only one who has to exercise, but you're not. I mean, everybody needs to exercise. So maybe you reaching out to a friend or family member, you're helping them also. So plan, and that's going to keep you on a good routine, even after the holidays. Next, number 2, remember the basics. So capital letters here, do not overcomplicate things. A lot of people get to this time of year and they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How do I stay on track? Just do the same thing you always do. And hopefully you always do this. But rule of thumb is don't overcomplicate things. There's 3 things that you need to do to stay on track after surgery, and that remains the same throughout past the holidays, focus on your protein, good quality choices of protein. So this doesn't mean just go crazy on, crappy animal products, but keep your protein a priority. Aim to get about 70 grams or more. You all know that that's kind of relative to the level of activity you have going on, and whether you're male or female, but just make a bare minimum goal to get up to 70. And hydration, that's going to be the second one. Your body doesn't want to lose weight if it's dehydrated. So especially for bariatric patients, it's very easy to get dehydrated because you're so focused on protein and eating, and you do have to keep that time separation, not drinking while you eat. So again, this goes back to planning and scheduling a little bit. So hydration, remember, hydration can be anything that's considered a clear fluid. Go back to your clear fluids category. You can do sugar-free popsicles, you can do broths, you can do water, you can do flavored water, you can kill two birds with one stone and do protein waters. Whatever is clear and good for you, go ahead and keep those options around and readily available. And then your third one's going to be exercise, and I just talked about that. So those three things are your basics. They're always going to be your basics. So just because the holidays are here doesn't mean it's anything new. It's just harder to stay on track with those three things, but it all goes back to planning. So don't overcomplicate it. Stay on track with those three basics always. Practice mindful eating. So we all know that even after surgery, it's difficult because you are in social settings, you get to talking and you're not really focused on food. So you're more or less not alone anymore with your food. You are, maybe picking at stuff out of boredom, but remember, even picking, that adds up by the end of the day. You may have consumed 200 to 500 calories more than what you normally would just by picking at food throughout the day. So remember that your food is fuel. Shift your mindset about food. Think about the reason we're getting together with people. Yeah, it is pretty standard for us to all gather around food, and that's a way of sharing things and sharing time with family and friends. But think about where you've been, where your relationship has started with food, how you've changed that prior to surgery, and where you are now. You really have to consider that. And literally, food is your fuel at this point. We're trying to get you to not eat out of enjoyment. We don't need to be leaning on those foods that make your light bulb light up in your brain. We're not eating out of pleasure anymore. And that's not to say that you can't eat out of pleasure. You can, but if you're one of those people and you know yourself, okay, you know yourself and you know how you're going to react to a certain behavior and you know your triggers. So consider how you are as a person. If you can handle little bits and pieces of unhealthy or, your treats, then go for it, enjoy it, but know that there's got to be an end to it. You don't need to carry on this behavior the next day and the next day and the next day throughout the entire rest of the year. Treat those holidays as the holidays, or those days as the days, and don't let those leftovers continue. So it's just like any other person that's not even had surgery. We end up eating leftovers for a week, and you just stuff yourself silly, you stretch your stomach out. Well, not after surgery, but anybody. And those hunger hormones start changing, your body starts craving that kind of stuff again. So keep all of these things in mind ahead of time. But as long as you just kind of stay true to your focus and know that food is your fuel, you're literally eating just to fuel your body, okay, to metabolically function, to live, to be healthy. Try to keep that in mind as much as possible. Other eating behaviors that you need to remember. It's going to be really easy to start eating real fast whenever you're in a social setting, especially if you're fresh out of surgery. So just remember those really, really small bites, chewing a lot, trying to really focus on your food while you're visiting with people. Okay. Let go of the shame and guilt. I know so many of you are already just like, I'm going to screw this up. Oh my gosh, I'm going to fall off track and never get back on. It's going to be the most complicated thing in the world. Go ahead. Just assume that you're going to mess up. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to mess up a million times over the holidays. I promise you. But I'm also one that has a good day today. I have some consistency, and hopefully I've kind of gone over that with you guys prior to surgery. This is why we work so hard prior to surgery, is to create consistencies so that when you do fall off track 1, 2 days, a week, a couple weeks or more, when you do fall off track, you know exactly what to do to get back on track, and you know what it feels like physically, mentally, to fall off track and to get back to your normal. So you're going to feel guilty. I'm sure you're going to feel guilty, but mentally we can't do that to ourselves. We're all human. Come on. We're going to want to have things that aren't so good for us. We're human. It's okay. So I want you to think about where you've been, how far you've come with the changes that you've made. Be proud of yourself and don't feel guilty about little slip ups here and there. It's okay. Just because you've had surgery doesn't mean you have total, you have a whole list of never foods anymore. I don't believe in that. I believe you can still have what you enjoy in very small amounts, and you can find the shut off valve at some point, hopefully sooner than later. So let go of the shame and guilt, guys. You're going to mess up. Just assume it. Be fine with it. I'm okay with it. And you know what? I will be there for you if you need to pick up the pieces. But you also have other friends and family that are there to support you. You have other people watching you. And believe it or not, you're a really good example to other people, like other friends and family. So for you to kind of, you know, stay true to what you really want to do and stay true to your goals, you're going to be an inspiration to other people too. This is going by really fast, much faster than what I thought. So ask for support. I have so many people, so many of my patients who feel like they're alone in this whole process before surgery, during the process of surgery, after surgery, years after surgery. And I have a lot of prideful people who don't reach out and ask for support. But just know that there's an enormous community of people who want to help you. Whether you realize it or not, you've got friends and family who would love to help you, help to keep you accountable. They want to push you to be healthy. They might want you to push them to be healthier too. But you need to ask for support. So on all different kinds of levels. So within your household, can you ask your children? Can you ask your spouse? Can you ask your significant other to help out with things? Can they go do some grocery shopping? Can you sit down with your family and decide together on a meal plan for the week? Can you have family walks in the evening? Can you commit to something on a daily basis or weekly basis with the people in your household or your immediate circle to help you stay true to your goals? I mean, you know what you struggle with. Write down those struggles and share them with other people. Say, hey, listen, I know ahead of time that I'm going to struggle with this. So can I have help with blank, blank, blank? And we all be together to support mom, support dad, support whoever. Because I promise you, if you ask for the support, you're going to get it. You have the Facebook support group page that you can always reach out to. You've got a huge community there that people are struggling with the same things you're struggling with. That's why it's a support group. So put it out there if you want to put it out there. We're super busy in the office right now, but I'm going to make time for you. Write me an email. I mean, I'll kick you in the rear end. I'll keep you accountable, but tell me what you're struggling with and we'll make a little game plan together if you need to. So if you need an appointment, just call me, call the office, and we'll set up an appointment on the phone, in the office, whatever. But just my point being, don't be afraid to ask for support, because everybody wants to support you in this whole process. You've done way too much to get ready for this surgery and to be successful after the surgery to be too prideful to ask for help. So ask for help. I think that's it, guys. No, enjoy yourself. Yes, this is a huge one. Stressing about staying on track should not ruin your holiday season. And I know I'm going to have tons of people who are just, I'm going to ruin everything I've worked for. And you might not lose a few pounds during the holidays, but that's okay. The point of this is to get back on track and continue with your goals after the holidays are over. You can try your best to stay on track now, but I don't want you stressing about it. Stressing should not ruin your time with your friends or your family. This is supposed to be a time for, chilling out a little bit, taking a break from work, and spending time with your loved ones. So I don't want that to be in the forefront of your mind the entire time. Be a little lenient with yourself, but just not too much. Do the best you can, get back to your normal as soon as you can. So know when to hit the shut off valve, okay? So no over baking on cookies and keeping casseroles in the fridge. You know what's gonna tempt yourself. Don't keep it in the fridge. If you're hosting at your house, one huge tip is to go ahead and purchase a lot of cheap to-go containers, pack them up, get rid of all those leftovers before everybody leaves your house. And if you're going to somebody else's house, don't even take leftovers home. People are going to try to give them to you. And if they do give them to you, I don't know, give them away to somebody else. But this is all part of just knowing yourself, what your triggers are and where you can easily slide downhill. And then there's going to be your slider foods too. So be aware of what foods do this for you, and just try to stay away. But I mean, I just want everybody to enjoy themselves over the holiday. Shouldn't be stressed. Happy holidays. I should put some Thanksgiving stuff on there. So guys, like I said, this is not rocket science. This is nothing new. This is all about accountability and support. And I hope that you will reach out to whoever you need for that support. You might not need any support at all. I don't know, maybe you're a rock star. Can you offer that support through our Facebook support group page or to other friends and family members? That's the main point here. We want just a good community to support each other. So I want to see each and every one of you be successful. This is the time of year where we can really flub it up. But I think with some good planning practices and just kind of knowing yourself and staying ahead of the game, you'll be absolutely just fine. So, okay, there. This is the shortest support group I've ever done. But like I said, there's not a lot of content. This is nice and easy. So if you need me, reach out. Thank you guys for joining tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot me an email. It's whitney.gibson@uhsinc.com. It's on my card if you have my card. Okay. I wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of you between now and the end of the year. But if I don't, happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. And I love you all. Bye-bye.